Day one of the chess.com Classic here is in the books, and the winner is now joining us on the show. He is Grandmaster Fabiano Caruana, who dominates the playing stage. I know it was a close finish, Fabi, but I got to say, we covered multiple of your games in our little game review, game of the round breakdown, because you just seemed to have it working today. How are you feeling, and how are you feeling about your performance?
Yeah, it's funny. I expected to do really poorly because I was just very tired in the morning. I just felt so tired. But somehow I played reasonably well. I I guess like things worked out in my favor a bit. I also used like a lot of my preparation from the candidates, so I was familiar with a lot of the positions and like my game, um, like this game against Kozak was just basically I knew the line very well and he didn't, and I got a huge advantage. So yeah, there was like some things like that in the last round. I felt like I should play for a win because I thought even if I lose, I'm probably not out of top 11. But if I win, then the like top spot having some extra advantage, it gave me some incentive, and I got like a fighting position, so I was pretty happy with that as well.
It's amazing. Was it, you said you were tired. Was it until I sent you the picture of the person who was sitting in my chair? Did that wake you up? Is that what happened?
No, that disturbed me even more, Danny. That was
My team,
I
the team set that up. I walk into the office to get ready for the studio, and I'm like, someone's sitting in my chair, so I had to send you a picture of it. But
it
all right,
was it was some good juju, I guess.
good juju. I want to go back to what you just said because Donnie and I talked a lot about it. Jokes aside, that you were up on the clock a lot. That was one of the other telling things about your chess today, and we kind of, had the hypothesis that it might be that you were getting positions you felt well prepared in, i.e., the candidates, not too far in the rear view right now. So, is that? Do you feel like that was part of how you played well today, coming off of the candidates, not only with some prep fresh in your mind, but just feeling the form because you obviously, despite things not working out how you wanted, you performed very well in Toronto.
Yeah, I think part of it could be that I was comfortable in my openings and the resulting positions, and I was playing quickly. There were some games like against Sam Sevian, for example, that I just like blundered, and I was continuing to play quickly, and I was like, what am I doing? I keep blundering, but somehow it's not like destroying my position, and um, and yeah, keeping the pace up is generally good. I mean, even if you're playing like not very precisely, at least having that like time buffer is going to usually save you in a lot of bad positions. I think like one very important game was my game against Maxime that I didn't lose that because I got like such an
Yeah.
atrocious position out of the opening, but found some like important moves, and even at some point I thought I'm very close to winning it. And Although I think that I didn't deserve more than a draw, but yeah, the playing quickly and generally speaking, my form wasn't too bad. I was surprised, and some games were quite nice. So overall, I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, it was great. You just called out, I think, objectively, probably your game against Maxime was maybe your only bad game of the day, and even that you didn't lose, right? Just started off on the wrong foot. But I'm going to use that to throw to our first question from chat. From username Pomodori wants to know, what was your favorite game today?
I actually
Kozak?
think probably my last game. Probably
Okay.
my last game against Yasipenko because I didn't really have to win. Like it wasn't. It was also reasonable to let's say play it safe, but I got like a position I was comfortable with, and I really pressed him, even though probably didn't convert like super precisely. But I really pressed him quite well and kept up the pressure, and I was like slowly outplaying him. And he's such a strong player that I'm happy that I can like outplay a player of that level from basically getting like a normal position and just kind of positionally turning the screws a bit. So that game I was pretty happy with.
Well, and I want to build on that though, because you just commented that you didn't have to win that game, but were you aware that winning that game gets you the bye? How important is that in an event like this, where we know that it is an absolute gauntlet to make it to the end? You get to sit out tomorrow because you won the playing stage clearly. So, did that ever cross your mind at some point when you started to get an edge against Esipenko that, hey, I should maybe take the shot here?
Yeah, I was thinking that, and I also thought he might be a bit nervous. Like he sometimes, if you're not sure whether you play for a win or a draw, it gets you maybe not in the best psychological state. And so I kind of approached the game more like I know what I'm trying to do in this game. The only issue, the only like slight consideration was that my tie breaks were good, so a draw was also possibly could have gotten me first place. So to lose when let's say a draw suffices would be pretty sad. But
Yeah.
luckily, my position was always comfortable. I was like, never worse. I never felt in risk. I never felt like I was risking to lose or in danger.
That's great. Well, I'm gonna throw to our last chat question of the day before letting you go and wishing you a final congrats. Sort of paraphrasing a little bit that your confidence obviously was there today, and I'm gonna add that you didn't have a great chess bowl masters today. You played great. Overall, do you like this time control? Do you feel better in rapid and blitz at this point in your career than maybe you ever have? Again, slightly paraphrasing Salvador Moreno's question there.
It's hard to say because okay, after you have like a good tournament, you have those positive emotions and everything feels good. But of course, it's also in this type of format, it's so up and down, so volatile that I could have even a bad day in my next the next time I play or even in my next game. So it's really not that clear cut in rapid and blitz. Like staying sharp is so important and it's so easy to play badly for anyone in the
Yep.
world. Uh, I do have to say though that I got like the worst piece of bad luck during the Chessable Masters. Uh, the first play in, I got food poisoning that day. It was like
Oh,
I absolutely cannot play whatsoever, and I was just blundering everything. I wasn't even like just looking at the board. I was so miserable and uh, which yeah, it's not like an excuse, of course, but it was kind
it
of
seems
bad
like
luck
it.
that
I think
I
that's a
had.
pretty decent excuse. I think it's a decent excuse given that you played pretty well here. So, anyway, man, well, you played fantastic chess. Congratulations on taking clear first. Enjoy the off day tomorrow as you get set for what will probably be quite the dogfight here down the stretch, right? Chess.com Classic. There's a lot at stake. So we wish you the best of luck and have fun competing on Friday.
Thanks, Danny.